What's up, folks? We're back again for another episode of Fury. Again, we got Tim, Dula, Josh. It's a great show we have. The scene is a little different here because I'm in Miami. I have to help out my brother a little bit with Jameis, trying to get the bus. I mean, I'm a Seahawks fan, but, my brother, thicker than blood. He's away with his wife, vacation. So I'm trying to help him out with the Buccaneers. And then later on, I'm going to go back to my Seahawks. But that's
such a gentleman, Sean.
That being said, we got a great show, and starting off with the subject, we're talking about Odell Beckham and his his image, and his being hurt. Tim, what's going on? What's going on?
No doubt.
Well, I just want to say I don't want nobody to cry tears. I'm not going to get offended. We about to talk about, please. This is a sensitive subject here. Here's the thing. Okay, we all know this hasn't been a good start yet for Odell Beckham Jr. Again, he is a great receiver. He is top 5, potential to be the best in the game. Okay, but for the second time, the second week, outbursts. Now, what I don't like is this happened against the Minnesota Vikings last week, when him and Rose, the quarterback from the Minnesota Vikings, were going back and forth. 3 incidents. One where some would say Rose cheap shot at Odell going out of bounds. The other one when Odell launched at him from a block, and you can saw that he put his hands in his face going out for a catch. And then there was one where they said that he bumped the ref. Some feel that he should have been tossed from the game. Some, feel the Giants need to do something. And I'm gonna say this, okay? What I don't like is how some media, a lot of Giant fans, are blaming Eli Manning and are saying that the reason why Odell Beckham is out of control is because Eli Manning is not getting him the ball. Understand, in order for Eli Manning to get him the ball, you must concentrate on doing your job. The offensive line needs to block. This how it goes. The same way Eli was trying to get the ball to Victor Cruz and Shepard, he's trying to get to Odell. Okay. Now another thing is that in the offseason, I recall Odell Beckham Jr. calling Shepard saying he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. In order for you to be the Rookie of the Year, Shepard has to get majority of the passing. He's going to have something equivalent to what Odell had his rookie year, 90-something catches, almost 1,200 yards receiving. Those numbers, that means that Odell will need to fall back and let Shepard get those catches. So my whole thing is this, okay? This is a sense. He's sensitive, okay? He does not like being told whatever he's being told on the field. He can't take it. Now, with his words saying he's not having fun no more, when he doesn't have any fun, he lets it go. That if I'm a Giant fan, or if I'm working anybody in the front office, in the Giants front office, I gotta question that, because this is your future. There's a lot of things that people are trying to, blaming Eli Manning. Listen, the man brought 2 championships to New York City, which is one of the biggest markets in sports. Not even Carmelo Anthony did that. Not even, let's keep it real. Derek Jeter is the godfather of New York City. Eli Manning should fall around in that category because he's brought championships here. Treat the man with respect the way you would treat Lawrence Taylor walking down the red carpet in New York City. Eli Manning made a statement about Odell Beckham Jr. That's the statement where we should go with, because he is there with him. We're not there with him. Let's stop blaming Eli Manning, saying the reason why Odell Beckham is mad is because he's not getting the ball. It's him. He has to work on him. And don't get me wrong, he's a free agent next year for some reason. I would love him on Dallas. He's a great receiver, great player, but he's distracted.
Go ahead, Josh.
All right, so basically, I'm just gonna boil it down to the NFL. In the media, they love it's a week by week story, headline basis. Whatever's gonna generate the most article clicks, the most video views, the most tweet retweets. This is exactly what's going on right now. Yes, it sucks on him, and he did bring it upon himself. I agree with that. All the nays and the touchdown dancing and the exuberant dances you want to do, that's fine. You can do that, but you got to take the bad with the good. You got to learn to handle that pressure when it comes. I also think that the microscope is on him. I think he needs to realize that a bit more. I think he needs to be more about the team rather than woe is me. I'm not getting my targets when I think I should. I understand he really wants to win. I get that. I can understand that passion and that heart, 100%. I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, he does need to learn, what to say to the media. And he does need to learn, how to take it more on the field and channel it more. I didn't agree, with that Monday night call, though. That was kind of BS on my opinion. I think when he got hit late out of bounds, he had every right to kind of scream and yell, what are you doing? Or, lay hit, what the hell are you coming in for? And to get flagged for that, that is a little ridiculous. I think he had every right to kind of argue that. But he needs to realize he is being microscoped right now. And the whole team is sucking. It's not just Odell. I think Odell's frustrations also come from the aspect that we should be doing a whole lot damn better than we did last year. And last year we were a top 5 offense statistically. And now we got rid of Ruben Randall, who's not even on a damn NFL roster. We're replacing him with a Sterling Shepard rookie. So it's like, what the hell are we doing? Our offensive line, I don't care what the hell PFF says, ranking us number 3. That's a bunch of BS. That has to be on some analytic BS of, Eli getting rid of the ball and the offensive line isn't allowing any hits or sacks on Eli. If you actually watch the game, you can tell our offensive line is in top 3. If we were top 3, you could stick in Orleans Darko and he would have 100 yards and possibly 2 touchdowns almost every game, even if Rashad Jennings is out with a little sore thumb. It's ridiculous. So the whole team needs to get it together. It starts with the O-line. The O-line helps the receivers. The running game helps the receivers. And the defense at the same time. They were doing great the first 2 weeks, but now you look at the whole picture. They don't have – I think they're last in sacks. Yeah, the hurries and the pressures are good, but you're not actually hitting or getting physical with the QB, so that's not helping in the end in any games whatsoever. And then the turnovers, yet again, -8. You're not going to win games when you turn over the ball and you don't generate a damn TO. You're not getting anywhere, and you're not going to generate dubs. And I think that frustration is what comes with Odell. We should be a more sound unit than we were last year. Our defense should be more sound and getting more pressures to the QB with how much we upgraded and spent on that D-line. It starts with the whole damn 22 and the 53.
Okay, we ran a lot of time over, but go ahead, Dula.
It's my turn? All right, cool.
Go ahead.
Listen. I know I scream no Dell every week, because why not? But as far as the game, listen, I understand why he was frustrated. He was going up against a pretty top-notch defense, and that defense did their job. Yep. They really limited that offense. And listen, was Xavier Rhodes being a little dirty? Sure he was. Absolutely. I don't know any defensive back, who doesn't do it. If you swap out him with Dez Bryant would also be pissed off. AB would be pissed off if you hit him out of bounds. Here's what Odell Beckham Jr. has against him. He's playing in New York City. If he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, no, we smirk, but no one gives a shit. If he played for the San Diego Chargers, whatever. But he's playing in a major city, and this is a what have you done for me lately type league. What I'm saying is that acrobatic catch he had 2 years ago, no one cares about that at this point. It's about, okay, you're a top-tier talent. You got a quarterback. You have someone on the other side of you. What are you going to do now? What's your part? And I think it's unfair in some ways that we equate wins and losses with individual players in football. But this is what it's all about. He's in New York. He's in a major media market. And if you go back to his time at LSU, he wasn't really as flamboyant. And then he got to New York City. He made the catch. He really came out. It was his coming out party. I mean, no pun intended, Odell. That's not my thing. But Odell just needs to play the game, right? Let everyone else, let your Josh Normans talk. Let your Xavier Rhodes take the cheap shots. Because at the end of the day, as much as you talk about Josh Norman, Odell went, 7 for 1 something?
121.
121? That speaks volumes. You can talk all you want about in the media about how this is a feud. If I'm beating your ass like that every time you play, it's not a feud.
All right. Well, we got to move on real quick, but I just have one little advice for Odell. Maybe take up maybe the playbook from Kobe, because Kobe, he took negative publicity and he turned it into his own advantage. Maybe do something like that, because I mean that's the only thing you can do when haters is coming after you. You gotta. I mean, I'm not a Kobe fan. Let that be known right now. But I have to respect him as a businessman and respect how he can spin negative publicity. Moving on, we gotta move quick though.
Real quick too, Sean. Cooper wanted to add on saying that we also have players around the league, like Gary Blunt, Dez Bryant, who've also tweeted supporting Odell Beckham Jr. about passion. It comes with the territory, and some don't understand it. Outside of playing football, they just want to make a mockery of it. So, which is true. I agree with him.
Agreed. Yeah, but the passion could lead into like 5 different branches, so you gotta be careful with it.
Right. All right, but I'm gonna lead to Dez Bryant. Now, here's the thing. Okay, and I'll be very truthful. Every offseason, as a fan, I am scared between the months of March and when is normally training camp start, between March and May. Why am I scared? I am scared for headlines. I am scared, okay, in the offseason, what are my favorite players are going to do to be in the spotlight, and damn, they suspended or drug testing or whatever. Okay, when Dez Bryant has come into this league, he has been the #1 target as far as he's going to be fair. He's going to fail. We have former players like Warren Moon, who was mentoring guys like Justin Blackmon, and would say comments like Dez Bryant will be in jail. He will not last long. Trusting this kid, Justin Blackmon, who played in the same college, who was his teammate in college for 1 year. Okay. We've had NFL general managers who had questioned Dez Bryant's mother, was she a prostitute? Okay. We have a lot of he say, she say, secret source, secret rumors, probably a Pokemon told a media something, and we still don't know who did it, who said what. The point I'm trying to say is Dez Bryant every time is a target for something. Now, is he perfect? By far, far from perfect. What he did last week, not showing up to his MRI, he was selfish, very selfish. But I will tell you this, what he did, a lot of human beings do. Something's wrong with us. We're scared to go to the doctor. We don't want to know what's going on. Don't get me wrong, Sean Lee, Scandrick, Tony Romo, of course. We know he knows the doctor by now. He probably had the doctor over his house for dinner a couple of times, as much he goes for his back and stuff. So Dez Bryant is supposed to man up and see what's going on, because it's not all about you. It's about your teammates as well. But he owned up to it. But what happens now? What happens now? A secret source came out, and Dez Bryant has missed 40 meetings and 40 absentees. Now, I'll tell you this. Who said it? Now, if a man tells you that's a lie, who said it, that man should respond back and give the answer. I mean, is this some Pee Wee Herman crap? I know you got more than mine, or I can't tell you. Here's the thing. Dez Bryant is not perfect. Far from perfect. Far from perfect. But I'll tell you this. The more you keep pushing him down, the more he proves you wrong all the time.
Go ahead, Josh. Get you some.
Hey, I was just gonna say, hopefully LeBron's kneecap can play next week. But at the same time, I think those anonymous tips came from his teammates saying, "Yeah, I don't even know how many meetings he's made, in his career. Maybe it's fire. Light some fire on the Dez. Start making the meetings like a leader. I don't know, man. Maybe it is."
They bored. Media's bored. They bored.
Hey,
All
you
right.
can say the same about Odell.
I agree with you. 110%. I agree with you.
All right, Dula.
Listen, are we gonna go no Dell or no Dez? Because I mean, here's the thing about Dez. I crack on Dez because he's an easy target, to be honest with you. But is he that bad? No. I just think he's immature. And you know what? I get it. I get the fact that if you look at his background, he's coming from a background that's not a very shining one. It's one of those stories where it's like above all odds. It's not as if he's like Odell Beckham Jr., who went to a private school in New Orleans and has both of his parents and all of that. Dez came from some pretty hard, and when you get that type of money, that type of notoriety, you don't know what that does to a person. So as far as the anonymous reports, listen, those can be taken with a grain of salt, but I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Do I think he's missed 40 meetings? Probably not. Do I think he's missed a few? I'd imagine so. But like in that quote from the anonymous source, they also said, listen, if it's third and 12 and I need a first down, Dez is my guy. He can get that for me. But, showing up to meetings, I think it just depends on how are you going to look at Dez as a player. If you're not leaning on him to be a leader, then so be it. It's a matter of does his talent him missing is it that detrimental to the team to where it's not worth the headache, or if you're looking on this guy to wear that C on his chest and be a captain, that's a different story. At the end of the day, again, it's slow news week at times, so I think it's a story about something that's not a real story.
All right, well, let's wrap the last story up quick.
I'll tell you and say that. So I'm sorry. What was the last story again?
Give me a second. No doubt.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. How can I forget? How can I
Dak
forget?
count.
How can I forget,
Okay.
man? Listen, now here's the thing.
Is it Dak moving forward or Tony Romo moving forward? Tim, who is it?
Well, here's the thing. It's so hard to answer that because the thing is this. You have to look at the situation when after the bye week, where is the Cowboys at? If the Cowboys beat the Bengals and beat Green Bay and go home on the bye, that means they're gonna be 5. They're gonna be 5-1, right? They're gonna be 5-1. At that point right there, you're gonna have. It's gonna be like, damn, we on a roll. Dez Bryant's back. Romo, we don't know how he's gonna perform. Do we stay with Dak? I'm in that route. But if we somehow lose the next 2 games and with three apiece, and then because again the Giants are not a bad team, the Redskins they also sneak up, and the Philadelphia Eagles are balling right now. I think the Eagles right now are probably the most complete team with a rookie quarterback. They're more prepared because they have a better defense out of the whole division. So my whole thing is this: you want to stay in the race with them other teams. You have to put Romo in. It all depends what's the record going into the bye.
All right, well, Abdullah, Josh.
Quick.
I was just going to say, I think Tony Romo's done with the Cowboys. Here's how I look at it. Dak Prescott's already performing better than you thought. You got him in the 4th round. Tony Romo was what? Undrafted. Cowboys have never really spent high-end draft picks on QBs really in their career franchise history. So go with Dak. There's no reason to plug Romo in. I say, worst comes to worst, you trade him. You say, oh, thanks for your services. You've been a great QB for us. He goes somewhere else, and if he gets injured, you say this is exactly why, we got rid of you. And if it works out, you say congratulations. I'm happy it worked out for you. So I think they should just cut ties.
I don't think it's going to be that easy. I'm looking at his contract right now. In 2017, he has a cap of $24 million. Some of that's restructured money. Some of that's assigned. His base salary is $14 million. Do I think he'll be on that roster? No, that's a lot of money to pay for a guy who is hurt a lot. Unfortunately, he's breaking down. I understand the sentiment, and I say this all the time. You got to know when to let go of guys. And And Tim, I know it hurts you because Tony Romo, for whatever it's worth, has had a decent career. But the time is Dak. Listen, if Dak messes around and goes 6-2, you can't sabotage your team.
You know what, Della? I thank you because when you was doing the your NFL draft analysis on all these players coming out, you had broken down saying you like Carson Wentz, you like Dak Prescott, and don't get me wrong, you're the one. I knew Carson Wentz from what you were saying when I saw the North Dakota State game when I guess they won their championship. And I listen, I was either happy with either Wentz or Dak. I'm happy right now what Dak is doing. I'm just nervous to okay, this is it. Because anything can happen. But I ain't rooting for the kid. I'm happy we got the kid.
Yep.
Really briefly. Think about the damage it may do to Dak by benching him if he's doing that well.
Yeah, stop his process. I agree with you. Totally agree with you.
All right. We'll catch you guys in the next down.
No